Welcome to the World's Mayor Experience. I'm the World's Mayor, also known as Joshua T Berglan. I want to thank you so much for being here today because this is the start of something that I pray will lead me to the ultimate goal, the completion of a vision and the fulfilling of something that has been on my heart for a very long time. And wherever you're watching from, whether it's YouTube or Rumble or listening on the podcast or watching directly on the worldsmayor.com or even joshuatberglan.com, I want to thank you so much for being here. Those of you who have watched any of my other broadcasts, you're going to recognize some of this and then also understand that this is completely different. And I'm going to start this broadcast by giving you a little bit of history and then a little bit of where we're going. And this is going to be as quick as possible. But my journey started right after being homeless, my broadcasting journey. And of course, that was something that I always wanted to do as a kid, being a broadcaster, talk show host, and getting to travel the world and serve, and then also being a QVC host. Those were my ultimate goals in life. And really, it hasn't changed a whole lot, except for the fact that at my earliest childhood dreams, and yes, I did see myself serving and helping people, but ultimately I was drawn to rock stars and, traveling the world and doing all of that stuff. And that hasn't changed. At the same time, the why behind the mission has. And ever since I turned my life around about 7 years ago, I have been on a journey. And on a journey to make my dreams come true, a journey to make those dreams and visions that I once thought was God mocking me, and then realizing that, hey, wait a second, this is what I'm supposed to do with my life. Well, I've been working to make that happen. And I want to not spend a lot of time on all of those details. I just want to say this. I have moved forward in my dream. My dreams have been coming true. And yet, or at least the steps to get there. Is it as fast as I want it? No. Has it been easy? No. In fact, I would say that my path to purpose and making my dreams come true, this life has been more difficult than the life that I lived as a 20-year chemsex addict that almost died from multiple overdoses and died from just being an idiot and dying from drug, abuse and dying from not taking care of myself when I first found out I had HIV. There's all of these things and that I could go into. But the fact is that when I made that change to that choice to turn my life around and committed to the action, I had so much noise in my head. The only thing that I could really do that made sense and that felt like this was the right way forward is when I trusted the spirit inside of me. And mind you, when I first turned my life around, it was religion and following Christianity, and my faith has evolved since then. If you've watched any of my other broadcasts, you've heard me say a lot of very controversial things. A lot of what I stand by and some that I've grown up and wouldn't say again. In fact, one of the things that I want to say before I go into this story more, because I do need to address the past, is that I'm not an evangelist anymore, at least one that is trying to lead people to a religion of salvation. And without going too far into my beliefs, I'll just say this: your beliefs are none of my business. My only goal is to help people realize that the person, the entity, the energy, the source that created us has a plan for us. We were created for something very specific. And I believe we are shown that through dreams, visions, downloads, and sometimes it comes through someone else to tell us. Those gifts and those experiences are not unique to Christianity. In fact, a lot of the religions I know, you hear very similar stories. So I'm not going to talk about my faith that much. I'm not going to talk about what people should believe, because frankly, the way we interpret what we hear has a lot to do with what we believe. Our interpretations of what we read dictates what we believe. And who am I to argue with you? I don't know the source of the content that you read. And then at the same time, my opinions, they've come from something. My divine revelations may look a lot different than yours. And I think that has more to do with you and your relationship with your creator for you. And for me, well, my opinions and what I feel that God or the creator is speaking to me, or the great spirit is speaking to me, I mean, it's for me, and how I interpret that is, well, how I interpret it. I'm here to spread love. I'm here to be love, and I'm here to be free. And I know how to be free, and I know how to love now. And I'm grateful for my religion for giving me the boundaries of which I'm going to stay within. And I learned obedience through my religion, but then I learned to trust the spirit over everything else, including anything that man has put his hands on and had a chance to manipulate or change or anything else. Now, does it mean that I don't read the Bible? No, not at all. I read the Bible a lot. I love the Bible. In fact, I love a lot of Holy Scripture, scriptures, or other religious text. I'm not in the business of trying to tell people what is right or wrong. I'm not going to do that. But I am going to be an evangelist, a different kind of evangelist. I'm going to be an evangelist of hope, of inspiration, of love, of teaching, of education, and being a servant. Not a servant as in a slave, but a servant that I'm here for the people. I'm here to make a difference in the world. And so anyway, all of my old broadcasts, Gratitude Unfiltered, Remixed, Society of Kingdom Minds, Spoken Word, A Conversation with Joshua T Berglan, all of those other broadcasts that I've done, actually Insights, Planet Zoom, a lot of different broadcasts. The World's Mayor Experience is going to be a mix of all of that. We are going to, every broadcast will have different segments. And of course, you'll see some of those segments in just clips. And then you'll have full access to full episodes as well. And I'm really excited about that. But unlike, it's not just going to be, the World's Mayor Experience is not just going to be me talking behind a camera. It's not going to just be a podcast. It's not going to just be a broadcast. Ultimately, here's the goal. And this is why I'm here. And this is what I'm working towards. I'm working towards the World's Mayor Experience becoming a world tour. But not a world tour where it's like, hey, look at me, I'm the world's mayor. No. If you know anything about Media Company in a Box, which is an all-in-one media solution that I created, and if you know anything about my history that is depicted in the book, The Devil Inside Me, you'll know that I have a passion for people that were addicts or are addicts, people that are former trafficking victims, people that were sexually abused, people that are mentally unique, as I like to call them, as I like to call myself. Also, I have a love for people that are incarcerated. And because I know that even though I've been in jail 6 times and I was facing 5 years the last time I got out of jail, I know without a shadow of a doubt that I could still be in prison and not have been given another chance, but I was. And I get to work with a lot of people that are locked away in shadow prisons that are disguised as hospitals that are innocent, that have never been formally charged. I'm all about civil rights and civil justice and all about making things fair for everyone. My ultimate goal in life is to help people realize and step into their God-given purpose and their God-given talent. Because I believe that when we do that, we don't have time to be racist douchebags and jerks, and we don't have time to discriminate. We don't have time to judge others because we are worried about doing what we are created to do. Now, funny thing is, what we are created to do really doesn't have as much to do with us as it does other people. Because after all, I believe our gifts and talents are meant to bless other people. And in turn, we are blessed by using our gifts and talents to bless others. But when we use our gifts and our talents for our own gain, typically the results end up a little bit funkier or unsavory, or it has the wrong heart behind it. So while as an evangelist, and I'm not going to ever bash the church, or I'm going to do my best to avoid bashing anyone or saying anything critical of anyone, because ultimately, one thing I've learned about being able to take a step back from ministry and being an evangelist and kind of watching how things play out, I don't like the way I was treated by the church or by other Christians, but I was also treated really nice by a lot of Christians and some churches. So I can't blanket statement anyone. I also know this, there's a lot of really good people that are deceived. I was deceived, I was hurt, and by people that were deceived. I know what it's like to be conned. And frankly, I know what it's like to con people too, unknowingly. Actually, knowingly too, because I did a lot of that before I gave my life to God, before I surrendered my whole life to Him or her. And see, that's the thing too. I don't have all the answers. I don't know if God's a he or a she or both. I don't know. I don't know if I even care, really. I just know that something amazing created us, and we were given these purposes and these gifts. And while sometimes it feels like we live in hell, because when you look around and you see what's coming through media players, it sometimes feels like hell. But then I go outside, I'm walking around, and I'm seeing this beautiful planet that I get to live in this beautiful area in Northfield, Minnesota, and I'm going, wow, this is amazing. And I see my children's eyes, and I see the joy and the things that come out of their mouth, and I get to see what they create. I'm going, and this may be hell, but they're a slice of heaven. And my partner in life, love, and everything, my soulmate, Jessica, seeing like her and how she is and how she shows up for people and the gift that she's been for me and the gift that she is for so many others. It makes me just know that there's a God. I don't know how much the details matter. I know there's a right way to live and a wrong way to live for each individual person. And I know that it's not really my choice or decision or even right to tell you what's best for you. I will, however, put a spotlight on shadow worlds. I will, however, talk about injustice that's done in the world. We're going to talk about a lot of that and a lot of other things that I'm passionate about. But ultimately, my core message is meant to elevate the passion and purpose of communities, the people in communities. Why? Because I have a global vision. I have a huge global vision. But without building up communities, what good is a global vision? Because if you can't take care of home, how in the world can you take care of the world? So the World's Mayor Experience is going to turn into an event. But here's the event that it's going to become. And I need your help. I need your support. I need your prayers. I need your support. If you are wanting to join a team, you're wanting to help grow this, and you have, time and talent and treasure, whatever that you want to bring to the table, and you want to work together and partner, well, here's the mission. The World's Mayor Experience, as I was saying before, is not even about me. Yes, I'm the host. Yes, it's my vision. But ultimately, the goal, we'll throw out the first goal is New York City. New York City is the very first place I want to go to do one of these events, but it's a global vision with global cities in mind. I want to travel to New York City. And then when I travel to that city, I want to be there for 2 weeks. For essentially the first week and 6 days, it is volunteering and serving and working in the community of New York City, working with youth organizations, working with anti-trafficking organizations, working with anti-poverty or homelessness organizations, mental health organizations. My goal is to work with them, to teach, to bring resources, to meet local heroes, to teach media skills, because my heart is to teach the future of media, because I believe that by knowing media and learning all that new media provides and the future media provides, these resources and the opportunity that it's given us, I believe by knowing this and by knowing these skills, anyone can make their dreams come true, utilizing their gifts, their talents, and even their intellectual property. Everyone has a story. I also have cats, and they're gonna show up when the door's not shut. So hold on just a second. Wasn't expecting this to happen. Thought my door was shut. But since you're here, sweetheart, you can stay here. Okay. Ow, your claws are sharp today. Anyway, so this experience, that's not going to be distracting. Come here, cat. I'm not going to edit that out. Anyway. So to travel and work with these communities and bring the resources and teach. I'm particularly passionate about the youth. One of the things that I'm most excited about this coming September is that I'm working with the Arts Guild of Northfield, Minnesota to teach a 6-week media course that is going to evolve into multiple courses. And of course, one of the other functions of what we're doing is we're building an app for the Girl Scouts Gold Award. And this is an education app / media company in a box. So it's combining the two technologies to go on and be a resource, not just for educators, but also students all over the world. And really, really excited about that. I won't go into those details. But in this event with teaching media and teaching these skills, it's not just, hey, you're going to learn media. We're actually going to teach people how to be able to use their gifts, talents, and intellectual property to immediately start the motion of creating a life for themselves and being able to provide for themselves. And they don't have to worry about their education level, whether they have the money to go to college or they have the money to take all the special courses. No, we want to give this away and we want to teach and again, bring people together. Yeah, we'll do interviews. Yeah, we'll do things like that. But it's really that initial 2 weeks is really about community and bringing people together and teaching and getting people excited about the opportunity that media brings. Because it doesn't matter what your passion is. It doesn't matter what your gifting is. When you have media knowledge, you can bring that to life in a way that allows you to provide a life for yourself, to provide for yourself financially, to provide for your family. And for some people that don't have an education or don't have the mental capacity to be able to go into a college or a school and learn or wait 4 years. Some people can't wait 4 years to get a degree. They need something now. And by learning media, that makes that possible. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about teaching it. My system, Media Company in a Box, is revolutionary. And I'm not saying that to brag, I'm saying it's revolutionary because it's never been done before. And it's simple, and I love teaching it. I have private clients that pay to learn it. And then I have people that don't have the money to pay for it. And guess what? They can trade, they get to trade time and their other talent, because maybe they have a skill that's useful. That opportunity is available for everyone. I get to be paid for the work that I do and the work that I've done. That said, if you're somebody in need and you don't have the money, let's work something out. Because here's something I know. Getting something for free, like, do we really appreciate it when it's free? Or do we appreciate it when we work for it? So the reason why I'm not just giving it away for free like I did for so long when we had a nonprofit media organization is because ultimately you got to invest in yourself. And if you don't have the money, invest in yourself in another way. And there's ways to do that. So at the end of the 2 weeks of this event, the teaching and the community gatherings and bringing in resources, whether it's clothes, funding, food, things like that, just again, working to build community relationships. At the end of that 2 weeks, there's going to be an event. And this event is half festival, half Tonight Show, half art show, half concert. It's a hybrid of a lot of things, but it's not just the in-person event that is going to be special, because I love a good event. I love a good concert. I love to dance. I love to be around people, but I love celebrations. And this is ultimately going to be a celebration. Yes, there's going to be entertainment and things like that, but it's a celebration. And on top of it just being an event, the other thing that we're going to do that makes it unique is that there's going to be an online audience, but not just any online audience. Some of the online audience is going to have the opportunity to experience this event virtually, as in virtual reality, because we are going to bring two different technologies into this experience. And I'm excited about it. Not just virtual reality, but also immersive media. And why immersive media matters is because immersive media for broadcast that are broadcast or streamed globally, this becomes a win for everyone. A win for the audience, a win for the viewers, because again, the engagement, being able to talk, being able to be a part of the action, immersed on the screen, but it's also a win for advertisers. It's a win for sponsors, because you can't fast forward commercials that don't exist. And what I mean by that is there will be no commercials. It's not like that. But there is a way with this technology for advertisers to be seen, to even have people buy their products in real time without ever distracting from what's happening on the main screens, meaning the event itself. It would not distract from that. In fact, it would heighten the experience. People can buy and shop in real time. People can engage. And then also people can immerse themselves in the event and feel like they're there with us. So while a lot of people talk about the dangers of media and the harm of media, our very intent from the very beginning, when we started down this path of independent media and teaching media so that people could be independent media organizations, the whole purpose behind that was to give people freedom, because that's what media does, but also the freedom to do things the right way, the freedom to tell the truth. And that is a big message. Truth is healing. Truth is the most important superpower in the world, I believe. And yeah, it can hurt. But as T.D. Jakes once said, he's probably said it a bunch more than once, the blessing is in the breaking. This tour, again, part rock concert, part Tony Robbins, part house music festival, part art show, part community gathering, and also part church. Because again, even though I'm no longer an evangelist as part of a religion, I do want to evangelize the world with truth, with love, compassion, and encouragement, and opportunities to step into our God-given purpose and getting to use our God-given talents to make the world a better place. You know, the world's mayor nickname, we don't need to go into all the stories there, but it's really not even about me. I call myself the world's mayor. Other people call me the world's mayor. It's great. I was called mayor before the world's mayor, but that's another thing. But the world's mayor is about elevating everyone that I come around, whether it's, walking down the street, whether it's in broadcast, whether it's in interviews, whether it's anything. I mean, content, just listening to somebody. But the whole point is to elevate the passion and purpose and missions of those that I get to work with, those I come around. And I want to inspire others to be their own world mayor, meaning they seek to elevate, they seek to uplift, they seek to inspire. It's so important to me. It's what I live for. So for the very first time in my life, and one of the mistakes I made, and we're going to wrap this up, but I have been led by the Spirit to operate most of my life. I had so much noise in my head and so much junk going on that I couldn't even, didn't know what to do. The thought of making a plan made no sense to me. In fact, I was struggling so bad financially. I'm like, well, what kind of plan could I make? I have a confession to make. I heard from Miles Monroe and all of these other thought leaders the importance of making a plan. And I was like, well, I'll make a plan when I have the money. Well, guess what? That's not the right way to go. Make a plan. Create a plan. When you create a plan, typically you'll follow it, especially if that plan that you set is in line with your purpose and what you want to do, what you really want in life. Make a plan of how to get there. And that is one of the things that I've done. So I can look at the last several years of broadcasting and getting kicked off of platforms and losing my following and losing money and losing everything for some of the decisions and the stands that I took, and, speaking out against, certain mandates that force people to do things that they may not have been comfortable with. I've made some bold stands and I've said some things that, again, some of it, maybe I wouldn't say as obnoxiously as before. Certain things I still stand by. But the one thing about it is this: I've learned some hard lessons. I've grown up a lot, and I took a long break from broadcasting. I mean, yeah, I did some interviews, but as far as spoken word and, just talking from the heart and sharing, I had to take a step back, because after I realized that, that wasn't the evangelist I was not the evangelist that I want to be. I realized that I needed to get really clear on what my truth was, what the truth I'm going to tell. I mean, I'm going to tell the truth, but do I really need to, be a truther? It's like, do I really need to speak out against so much? Do I even need to talk as much? I've had to ask myself some very hard questions. And moving forward, I'm going to do my best to just only say what really matters to me and speak to causes that need to be spoken about, but avoid opinion as much as possible, because what is an opinion really? What value is an opinion? What value is in an opinion? I don't know. Because I don't know how much good they do. But with information, with resources, with education, people can do something with that. And that is a big part of what the world's mayor experience will be, is that things that are useful, things that you can use, things that you can apply for your life, or even just things that are interesting. So while I'm starting here in my studio at home, in broadcasting, and going to be introducing some new segments and other things to, these broadcasts, which I'm kind of excited about, mixing things up a little bit. Just know the ultimate goal is to take this on tour. London, Tokyo, Moscow, Sydney, Dallas, Houston, Austin, San Francisco, San Diego, Los Angeles, Dallas, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Omaha, London, Hamburg, Paris, Barcelona, South Africa, Johannesburg, Africa, all over Africa. Yeah, that's where this tour wants to go. And as far as the whole, full, detailed and vision, I'll keep some of that to myself. But ultimately, we have a plan. We're going to follow that plan, and we're going to bring that mission to life. So moving forward, this opening segment, this opening monologue of the show will not be as long, or I will do my best to not make it so long. And but I'm excited. I'm excited about this. I'm excited about being more focused and less loosey-goosey because, well, you know, sometimes structure is actually a good thing. Even though I don't typically like it, I believe it's a good thing. Discipline. Hold on, one other thing. Scan this. So I'm doing this course, a self-mastery course. And day 2, I'm on day 5, not that far into it, is about clarity. Being clear about what it is that I really want in life. What is the most important thing? I'm not going to tell you what that is for me, because it doesn't matter. But I will tell you that becoming crystal clear of what my priorities are, what matters to me most, and what it is that I want in life, and being able to put it in order has helped me create an amazing plan. And that plan and plans seem to, and when you follow the plan, even though, you know, sometimes God steps in and you've had this plan and you may feel like you got to take off the path a little bit, or maybe, you know, you get retrieval sooner, maybe you see success sooner than you thought. That's all God to me. But for that to happen, I believe we have to have a plan, and we start marching towards that. Because when we don't have a plan, yeah, it's really easy to say you're led by the Spirit, but, you know, sometimes that's how you get going. Where'd you go? Hey, Spirit, I don't feel you right now. I'm over here in the wilderness. I don't know where to go. What do you want me to do? Where you at? The plan seems to keep, at least in my experience, keep me connected, because then I always know where I'm going. I don't know if that's useful for you. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned. We have a really interesting segment coming right up. Thank you for being here. God bless.